Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so going to the last topic. This is the last topic of the first module. Okay, so going to the last topic, so we need to discuss about the IO ports. Okay, so already this when we were discussing about the pin diagram of the 8051. Okay, already you know about it. Okay, so only we'll just see one more time. So what are the IO ports and how many IO ports are there? Okay, so this IO ports, so there are we are in 8051. We are having four 8-bit IO ports, that is P0, P1, P2, and P3. Okay, so all the IO ports are 8-bit ports, which are bit addressable and byte addressable. I can access them individually, or I can access them together as a 8-bit port. So all the ports are bit or byte addressable. Okay, so all these ports upon reset they are configured as the output port. By default, whenever I reset the 8051 microcontroller, they are configured as output port. Okay, so to configure them as input port, okay, so what we should do is a 1 must be sent. A 1 must be sent to the port. Whenever I am configuring the port as an input port, I am sending one to make the port as an input port. Okay, so by default, all the ports are output ports. Whenever I want to configure them as a input port, then a 1 must be sent to configure them as a input port. Okay, to configure them as an output port, again a 0 must be sent to the port. Okay, so a 0 is sent to the port to configure the port as an output port. So to configure the port as an input port, a 1 must be sent to the port. So four ports, P0, P1, P2, and P3. Okay, so this port 0, so port 0 P0 is having an address of 80. Okay, so the address of port 0 is 80H. So instead of P0, if I use 80, so it is nothing but it is the port 0. Okay, so all the ports or the register, I can access them by their names, or I can access them by their addresses. Okay, so all the registers I can access them by their names, or I can access them by their addresses. Okay, so here all the ports, they are configured as input or output port. So same here, port 0 can be configured as input or the output port. Okay, so since each port, each what bit each port is bit addressable, I can access it as port 0.1, port 0, p 0.2, p 0.3, like this, to access a corresponding bit. Okay, so here this port 0 IO port, it is having a open drain structure. Internal diagram, when you go to the module 3, then we'll see the internal diagram. Okay, so in the internal diagram, the port 0 pin, it is having a open drain structure. Internally an FET is used. So in the FET, the drain is kept open. Okay, so because of which, whenever you are using the port 0 as an IO port, the external resistor need to be connected to the port lines. Okay, so this port 0, only port 0, it is having the open drain internally, because of which, so whenever the IO port is used as a input output port, in that case, so externally resistors should be connected. Around 10k ohm of pull up resistors we are using. Okay, so this okay, so already I've told you that the dual role of port 0, external interfacing and ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. So port 0 is used as an IO port. Port 0 is also used to send the lower order address, and also it is used to send the data. So because of which, so whenever the external memory is accessed, you need to demultiplex the lower order address and the data bus. So for that you are using the ALE signal. Okay, whenever ALE is 0, so whatever the data is sent on the port lines, it corresponds to the data. Okay, so D0 to D7. Whenever ALE is 1, whatever the data is sent on the IO port lines, it corresponds to the address A0 to A7. So port 0 used as input output port. Port 0 is used to send the lower order address whenever you are accessing the external memory. Port 0 is also used to send the data whenever you are accessing the external memory. Read the data, or you can, whenever you are writing, to write the data, so the data is sent on these the data lines, data bus. Okay, so that is port 0. So only the difference is port 0 is having an open drain, because of which whenever you are connecting the port 0 as an input output port, external pull up resistors must be connected. Okay, so port 1. So the port 1 is having an address of 90. Okay. So port 1, address of the port 1 is 19 hexadecimal. Port 0 address is 80. Port 1 address is 90. Okay. So port 0 is not having open drain. Okay. So it is having an internal pull-up resistor. So it is already has an internal. So the drain is connected to an internal resistor. Okay. So because of which you don't need to connect any external resistor in case of the port 1. Okay, so similar to all the ports, so whenever on reset all these are configured as the output port. Whenever you want to make them as an input port, in that case, so you need to you need to write 1 to the corresponding bit of the ports. Okay, so that is about port 1. Port 1 is used just as an input output port. Okay, so it's having only one function. It is used as an input output port. This port 1 is it is bit addressable, and also it is byte addressable. Okay, so going to the next is the port 2. Okay, so port 2, it is having an address of A0. Okay, so A0 is the address of the port 2. So port 2 again, as and any other port, it is used as an input port, or it is used as an output port. Okay, so here also you don't need an external pull-up register, because already port 2 is having the internal pull-up register. Okay, so same, so port 2 on reset is configured as output. To make as an input, you should program to you should write 1 to the corresponding bits of the port. Okay, so the dual function of the port is nothing but port 2. It is used to send the higher order address whenever you are accessing the external memory. So whenever you are using the external memory, the higher order address bits are sent on the port 2 lines. So the lower order address bit is sent on the port 0 lines. The higher order address bits are sent on the port 2 lines. So it serves two purpose. One as input output lines, and also these port 2 lines are used to send the higher order address A8 to A15 whenever the external memory is accessed. Okay, so whenever external memory is accessed, so port 2 is used to send the higher order address A8 to A15. Okay, so that is about port 2. Port 3, again normally it is used as input or the output port. Okay, it is used as the input or the output port. Okay, so again similar to port 1 and port 2, it does not need any external pull-up register, because already the internal pull-up register is provided in the port 3. Okay, so similar to other ports, so on reset it acts as an output whenever you want to configure as an input. So you can configure it as an input by writing 1 to the bits. Okay, so here port 3, so first function is nothing but it acts as an input output port. So port 3 is having the address of B0. So B0 is the address of the port 3. Port 1, port 0 80, port 1 90, port 2 is A0, and port 3 is having the address of B0. Okay, so here each individual bit of the port 3. Okay, so port 3 is again same as other ports. It is bit addressable or it is byte addressable. I can access the individual bit by saying the name of the port dot which bit I am accessing. Port 3.0 is nothing but bit 0 of the port 3. Port 3 P3.1 is nothing but bit 1 of the port 3. So each bits can be individually accessed. Okay, so each bit is having some additional function. So port 3 bit 0, it acts as a RxD line, and port 3 bit 1, it acts as a TXD line. Okay, so as you all know, so this 8051 microcontroller, it is having on chip serial communication facility. So So since serial communication facility is provided, so 2 pins are dedicated for serial communication. So whenever you are doing the serial communication, the data is transmitted on the TXT line and data is received on the RXD line. So these 2 lines, TXD and RXD, used for serial communication. Okay, so port 3 bit 2 and port 3 bit 3, so they are dedicated for the external interrupts. Okay, so 8051 supports 2 external interrupt, INT0 and INT1. Okay, so these are dedicated for external interrupt. Okay, so you'll connect any input output device or any device which requires the urgent service. In that case, it signals to the microcontroller by sending the active low, because INT0 bar I am having, INT1 bar I am having, which means that these 2 interrupts are the active low interrupt. Whenever you want to interrupt the processor or the controller, you need to make these line as low. Then the signal is recognized by the microcontroller, and the microcontroller suspends whatever the function it is doing, and it goes to serve the corresponding input output device. Okay, so port 3 bit 2, port 3 bit 3 is dedicated for the external interrupt. Okay, next port 3 bit 4, port 3 bit 5, so they these 2 lines, so they act as the input to the timer. Okay, 8051 is having 2 16-bit timer, timer 0 and timer 1. Okay, so these, so if I want to give any input to the timer, so this input can be given on the lines port 3 bit 4 and port 3 bit 5. Okay, so usually these lines are used if you want to run the timer on different frequency. The external clock is connected to the timer using this line. Okay, so these lines are used to connect the external clock to the timer. Okay, so timer 0 and timer 1. Next, port 3 bit 6, port 3 bit 7, they act as the write bar and the read bar signal. So you know that already in the last class, when we are interfacing the external RAM to the microcontroller. Okay, so RAM you are interfacing is nothing but in the RAM you can write to the RAM, or you can read the contents of the RAM. So because of which, whenever you are doing the memory read or memory write, okay, so the microcontroller issues the signals read bar and the write bar. If you are doing the memory read, so read bar signal is issued by the microcontroller. If you are writing to the memory, then write bar signal is issued by the microcontroller. Okay, so all these again, read bar and write bar, indicates that, so these 2 signals are active low signals. Whenever write bar is made 0, it indicates that the microcontroller is writing to the corresponding memory location. Okay, so read bar is made 0, indicates that microcontroller is reading the corresponding memory location. So corresponding memory location is nothing but the address memory location. So which is the address memory location? So so the address of the memory location, it is sent on port 0 and port 2 lines. Port 0 lines carries the lower order address, port 2 line carries the higher order address. Whichever the addressed location is there, so the corresponding content is read whenever read bar signal is made low. So last class you have seen that this read bar is connected to the output enable bar of the RAM chip. Okay, so read bar is connected to the output enable bar of the RAM chip. So this is about a brief introduction about the IO ports. Okay, in detail you are going to study the IO ports, how the IO ports are used, how we can program the IO ports in the module 3. So module 3 you are totally dedicated for IO port programming. Okay, so what is the structure of the IO port? All those things we'll see in the module 3. So just a brief idea. So how many ports we are having, how the ports can be configured as input or output. Okay, and what are the role of each port, what are the functions of the each ports, that we have seen now. Okay, so with this, so in your syllabus